Jacy, are you taking Kevin's spot for the weekly pressers now?
Oh gosh, no, he wouldn't. No, thank you. He can have that.
You want to get us started?
Yeah. Jacy, just what's this like? I know you haven't been gone very long, but to be back and maybe thinking you wouldn't be back, just what's that like when we start process?
Yeah, it's exciting. I think, like you said, I didn't expect it, and I think I'm super excited about it and looking forward to it now, especially with the group that I was so close with, and a group that also has so many new faces, and being able to, even the short time I've been here so far, being able to be around them and watch them develop as players and people is just exciting, and I'm looking forward to it.
You were such an integral part of the team on the floor, but also off the floor as a leader.
Yeah.
It seems like Kevin still has you, and you're still going to be in that leadership role, just in a different way. Just kind of talk about your role now and how you embrace that part of it.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm on the other side of it now. Like you mentioned, I think leading that team for, I was here 5 years for a while, and now being, a coach and trying to do the same thing and implement the same things is special. But I think for me, being here for so long, I know what our standards are. I know what, people expect out of you at Ohio State and how to enforce those. And I just want to spread that to the girls, because I think holding each other accountable is the best thing you can do as a teammate. And if I can start that on the coaching side of it now, on my end, I'm excited to do that and just watch them, thrive from there.
Dan, go ahead.
Hey, Jacy, just what made you decide that you wanted to do this?
I think I was just interested in, obviously, I love Ohio State. It's always going to be home, and this group, and once I saw the opportunity there, I had to take it. I think it's just, especially this group, they're really special, and they're so young that their potential is already so high, and they have so much more to go. And I think, just being a part of that and being able to be a part of the game in a different way and affect these women in a different way was awesome for me, and I'm excited.
I know you were originally planning to go play in Australia. Mm-hmm. How much did being around family, especially Emmy, play into your decision to take this job instead?
Yeah, actually, I was. So my original plan was to go play in Australia for Townsville Fire, which I was super excited about. I found out last 2 months of the WNBA season, I was worsening an injury. And got home, and before I was about to leave for Townsville, found out about it. So had to miss out on that opportunity. I had to prioritize my health and recovery. Super bummed about that, because they're an amazing organization that I was looking forward to playing with. But in a way, too, it led me to this opportunity that I'm really grateful for. So that's kind of how that all worked out, but really excited to be back at Ohio State.
And what's the balance for you like now in terms of this job versus also continuing your playing career? Yeah,
I think it'll be good. Like I mentioned before, just being a part of the game in a different way and in a different perspective, I think is going to help me develop my, WNBA, play even more. So I'm looking forward to that. And then being at Ohio State, they're already helping me a ton with rehab and being great in that process as well. And then once I'm healthy and can get back on the floor, obviously, I'll work over to skill work and being able to work with my trainer and work out here as well. So I think it's going to be a good balance for me, a healthy balance, and hopefully I'll learn a little bit on the other side of it too.
What was that injury you're dealing with?
What was that injury? Lower leg injury.
Brianna, go ahead.
Hi. How soon after you learned about the injury and that it was worsening did you start having these conversations, and did this show up as a legitimate opportunity?
Yeah, I think, I don't know the exact timeline. Once I found out about it, I did reach out to McGuff. I wanted to try to be a part of this group, and honestly, in any way I could, whether it was on staff or not. So really thankful for the opportunity they gave me, and even more excited to work with these girls.
And how would you kind of describe the role you're taking over and just what you're looking to do for the team?
Yeah, I think, that player development role is special, and obviously want to focus on developing their game and skill set. And I think one thing that, I can help them with is I've been in the system before. I've just got out of the system. So I know what we do offensive and defensively pretty well. And I think, being new, I think that takes a minute. So I hope to kind of enhance that process. And even with our press, I think that's something that takes a minute to clinch onto. And just knowing what we do and doing it for 5 years here, I think I have a little advantage there. But just excited to help them develop on the floor and just as much off the floor too.
Is it helpful to also be very relatable to players because you were literally just in their shoes not too long ago? How much do you think that helps a team grow? Yeah,
I think it's huge. I think, like I said, being here for as long as I was, and now being able to come back and help these young girls and kind of learn our system and what we do and the standards. I talked about it earlier, but like I said, it's a special group, and they're having no trouble getting implemented to things and learning what we do here. And super excited to watch them grow throughout the season. That'll be different for me, not being a part of it, but being a part of it in a different way and being able to see that leap.
I also have Katie on staff too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we're a dream team of like
Mhm.
people on staff. What do you hope to learn from her as well? That kind of combination of learning a lot, especially with her experience.
Yeah, she's a legend. Not even here in the league too, and I think it's amazing having her here. And for me, being able to learn from her too. We've already discussed so much about not just Ohio State but the league too, and just little stuff that she's picked up and sharing with me, and it's amazing. I think it's something I'm going to benefit greatly from, and these girls are too. And it's funny, I know she jokes about being old, but they got to go back and watch her highlights because she's obviously one of the best to ever do it. And I think having her here and having her around these girls is going to be great.
The person that played this role for you when you were in school, what was your relationship with them, and how do you hope to kind of emulate that with this?
Yeah, that's a great question. As far as player development, you mean? Yeah, that's my trainer, and that's someone, Tyrell Jackson is his name, and someone I still work with daily. Even now, it's just go back to the basics and do ball handling while you can. But he's someone that's impacted my life on and off the court more than anyone else probably, and that's someone I for sure want to, model this role after. I think that obviously what you do on the court is huge, and you want to focus on that, but developing them off the court and as student athletes and as people is just as important. And I think he's taught me that, and just being able to learn from him and continuing learning from him every day has been awesome for me.
When you thought about your career, was coaching ever on your mind? Going to high school and college?
Always in the back of my mind. I always wanted to go into broadcasting, and I still do, and excited for that in the future. But I think, once this opportunity came to, I was really looking forward to it, and having the connection with some of these girls already, I guess, swayed my decision a little bit. But even, being able to work with these girls that I haven't met before and that are new here and transferred in, I really enjoyed it. And if you would have asked me a year ago, I might have had a different answer. But, lately I think it's something I definitely wanted to pursue. And like I mentioned, it's going to help me develop my game as well, and then also, thrive in this role too. I'm excited about it.
Jacy, you mentioned helping some of the newcomers adjust a little bit. I'm curious, just your thoughts on Galanis.
Mhm.
Her first game seemed to be crazy. Also, how you can help her at the front of that press, kind of fitting into
Yeah.
the role that you have this.
Yeah, she's special, man. I mean, it's been one game, and you guys already see what she's about, and she's got so much more potential too. She's only going to continue to get better every day. But an amazing player. I think her speed is something that makes her so good and able to be that fast and to stop on a dime. Very few players can do that, and it's been cool to watch her. Like I said, even the couple days I've been here, already things are starting to click, and she's learning every day, and she's just going to continue to pick up on what we do here. And I just want to be, a guidance for her and someone who can help her through this system. She's new, she's a freshman, so I think just picking up on those things even quicker, and she's already picked up on so much. But the press is something I love to do while I was here, but it did take a minute to learn everything that we do, and I think I can help her there a lot. But like I said, she's got some speed, and a lot of times speed makes up for a lot of things. So I'm really excited for her. I think, she's got so much more she's going to learn, and I know she's already an amazing player, but I can't wait to see what she's like when she gets out of here.
Brianna, go ahead.
Kind of looking back on your first season in the WNBA, what's kind of your biggest takeaway and what you feel like you learned in the league?
Oh gosh, I learned a ton. It was a fun year. I think everything was a little different. People ask me all the time what the biggest difference was, like going into the league, and obviously the level of competition is greater. You're playing against the best players in the world, and I think there was a stretch for me where we played. My matchups for the night was guarded DT one night, Skylar Diggins the next, and then Kelsey Plum. And if you had told me that like a year ago, I would have been like, "What? That's ridiculous." And I think that truly is the biggest difference, in my opinion. I think you have no breaks. and in college, don't get me wrong, you're playing against amazing players, but you're playing against the best, women athletes in the world at that level. So that was a full circle moment for me for sure that stretch, I was like, this is crazy. But looking back on it, I learned so much. It was a lot of fun. And it's also awesome to see the women in that league supporting each other. I think we're really a huge family, huge community, and I think it's been great to be a part of.
Have you been able to take those lessons and notes that you've gotten from the league and bring them to someone like, we know though Cody has aspirations
Yeah.
to be in the league and all the other players who are
Mm-hmm.
hoping to do that.
Yeah, I think that's some stuff they want to hear. So things, that I've been through in the league already and bringing it back and letting them know how they, what they look for, what you have to play your butt off every possession or you're not going to make it in that league. And I think just reiterating that, not only that, but other things I've learned to these girls, it's going to resonate with them, and I think they're going to, grow because of it. And Cody's already, she's maturing and she's learning, and she's already focusing on how she needs to be better, not only for, for the league, whatever, but for this group and this team. And I think that's special, and I think that's what a lot of these girls are focused on. They just want to win.
We're going to shift over to Zoom a little bit. Thomas, if you have a couple questions, start us off.
Hey, Jacy, thanks for the time. Welcome back. Question about watching Jelani on Tuesday. I know you talked about how great she's been and just that initial introduction to all of us. But watching the game now as a former Buckeye, you're in the crowd. You see her in the press. What was the thing you actually told her after, or in the last few days that you noticed that maybe she could do better, or things that she was really doing great at?
Well, she did a lot of things pretty well that night, but I think for me it's just it's the little stuff. It's the little things that I learned or I noticed when I was here. Like in the press, we really emphasize getting up and denying and not letting the ball in, and she's so fast and quick that that's something she could be able to do consistently. And just iterating those little things, because she's going to score the ball. She's going to make reads. She's an amazing passer, and she's really quick, and that helps her on offense and on defense. And, I'm just excited to see her grow and continuing to help her, learn our stuff like I mentioned. But she's an amazing player, and I'm excited to see what she can do.
Thank you.
G.
Hi, Jason. Welcome back. I just had a couple questions. One is, have you talked to Celeste or Mika at all about the position you're in?
Yeah, well, I haven't talked to her about this specific position, but we've definitely communicated. We were originally both going to be in Australia, and we were going to play against each other over there. So we kept in touch, and she's in Sydney. She's playing over there, and she's enjoying it. She's loving it. It's beautiful over there, so I know she's having a great time. But we haven't chatted about this position yet, but I'll have to catch up with her soon and see how their season's going.
And just another question about recruiting in general. Obviously, you got a chance to play against USC, and they have a fantastic team this year with Juju and other transfers they've gotten in this year. What does it take from an Ohio State perspective this year as well, with new teams coming into the Big Ten? I'm sure you saw Oregon also had a really big win over Baylor last night too.
Yeah, I think the Big Ten's always been for us ever since I've been here one of the best conferences there is, and if you don't come out ready to play, you're going to get beat, and that doesn't change. Obviously, you're adding teams, and you're adding some really competitive teams, and if anything, making this league better, which is crazy to say, but it's exciting, and I think the focus, remains, focusing on the next game ahead and not looking ahead at all. I think whoever is that next game coming up is who our focus will be on, and I think, keeping that mentality throughout this whole year is going to be important for these girls, especially with a new group, but it's exciting. I think anytime you get to compete against, really talented teams, it's something that competitors look forward to. So I'm sure those matchups they already have circled, but like I said, if you look ahead in this league, you're going to get beat. So our mentality is definitely going to be game by game, but I'm excited to see what they can do.
Just one follow-up question for you. We talked about Cody, we talked about Jelani. How did players like TT and Ebony, some of the returners, react when they found out you were coming back?
Yeah, I hope they were excited. I think they were. I have great relationships with every single girl, and I'm happy to be back and kind of help them in a different role, but kind of the same, honestly, and I think they tell you the same thing. Just like holding them accountable and making sure we're getting the best out of them every day. I know what those girls can do, and obviously the whole coaching staff does, but playing with them, I think it's a little different, and I think now watching them, it's also a different perspective for me, but I'm going to stay on them. That's what I know they can take it, and I know they want to get better, and people like TT and Ebony are amazing and really talented, and sometimes I think those girls don't even know how good they are. But I'm excited to watch them thrive as well. It's going to be a fun season for them.